One.
Oh, we are live.
All right, we're
Great.
live now.
All right, we are live. We are live. We are live in total 8-10 groups.
Yes,
Fantastic,
yes,
fantastic,
yes.
fantastic to have.
So,
We are live
guys,
on multiple medias. Right,
yeah.
fantastic.
So guys, I wanna welcome you everybody here that we are streaming now on about 10 different locations, and we have a great news for you guys. My friend Deepak, he's from India, and I'm here in Florida in the United States. And we decided to partner, and we really want to reach as many people we can to help. And so we have decided to create a online TV channel that is going to focus on helping all of you guys and coaching and help you to achieve your success. And so what we're going to do today is Deepak is going to introduce himself. He's going to tell us all about him. I'll introduce later myself to so you can know more. Many of you already know me. But the whole goal is to help you to achieve the success you seek and that. So we're going to have a YouTube channel, and we welcome everybody to join us in the YouTube channel and subscribe and follow us and like our videos. We also going to have a WhatsApp number, so you can also, if you're watching us live, you can, or if you're watching later, but you can send messages in this WhatsApp, and we will be replying these messages or any questions you may have. Either one, we are going to reply. So Deepak, thank you so much for being my partner in this new venture. And so, why don't you introduce
Thank you,
yourself?
Gustavo. Thank you, Gustavo. It's a pleasure being here. It's a really pleasure being. I'm really pleased to be here. Great. So we are live in so many. Someone says Facebook user Namaste from India. That's great. That's great to hear that. Namaste. It's really amazing. So yeah, and also welcome to all my community. We are live in our community as well in Kumar's coaching. Myself Deepak Kumar, and I'm from India. Uh, 2.5 year ago, to in my introduction, 2.5 year ago, I got this book. I was a computer science engineer. I was doing computer science. Okay. I used to do programming, at the time. I got this book. At the same time, I have my own startup at the time. I was running my own startup. uh, I got this book and I started reading this book. And in the preamble of that book, there was written something like that: there is a secret in this book. If you can find it, you can achieve anything you want. And that seriously made me curious. I wanted to know what is the secret. Okay, to know the secret, what I was doing was reading that book over and over every single day. I was just reading that book over and over just to know, because I think it's in the preamble of that book, the second line, it was the secret will only appear when you'll become ready for it. I was like, how can I become ready for it? So I started reading it. I think it took me 1 year to figure out what actually the secret is. With the repetition of information, I started realizing what is the actual secret. Since then, my life started shifting. At the time, I didn't realize what I was doing, but what I was doing was applying the principle of repetition. Then all this chapter, faith, desire, persistence, all it was going in my mind at the time. The reason I'm sharing my story, because so many people can relate to this. They have been looking for something right now. Yeah, that's why they are joining this community. They are joining so many other communities. After 1 year, I started realizing the secret. What is the secret? It isn't very hard to find, but it took me 1 year. Then I started, in that 1 year, I started attracting different people into my life. I started attracting Bob Proctor. I still remember I watched his first video, The Power of Repetition. When I first watched him, then I realized that what I have done in 1 year, you know, my thinking in that year started shifting. My confidence started shifting. So everything started shifting. Then things go on. I started watching his on YouTube. I remember I watched The Secret, which I was really attracted toward. The Secret movie, if you remember, Gustavo,
Yeah.
right? The Secret. It's
Yeah,
it's
I
amazing
watched that
movie.
movie too. It was very good.
Yeah, yeah. I watched that movie over and over again. Then after some time, what happened is I attracted one of his consultant, and we happened to share our frequency. We happened to share the frequency. As I was studying this material for some time. So I had this little bit idea of what paradigm is, although I don't know how to change it at the time, but I had the little bit idea of what is paradigm and how it's controlled. And so I talked to him about it, and we and him started working together, and he started showing me how to change the paradigm, and he used to consult me time to time, and we used to work together. I used to find clients for him, and I used to I'm very open about it, so I used to find clients about to him, and I used to give him, he used to coach them and whatever, and I used to get some commission out of it. So that's what it
Yeah.
is. That's what we did that for 1 year. We did it for 1 year, and I started learning more about it, what it is. Then after 1 year, I started falling in love with this information. It is so incredible. How can you not fall in love with this? I
Yeah.
started studying it over and over and over and over and over again. Then so many people came into my life. I started working with them, and then suddenly I started helping people. I decided that I would help people with this, and I started getting clients. I started getting clients in Poland. I started getting clients in Saudi, then Canada, then USA, and things took off like a rock. My income went from nothing to six figure. Okay, so it was great transformation. So that's how I went.
Yeah.
So it's like great.
Yeah, I mean, and for me, it was very similar. Kind of way, my story comes a little bit. I
Yeah.
always been a good teacher. Since I was a kid, I was in different sport, and I will have um, a lot of pleasure in teaching people. And sometimes I will teach things that I didn't know about it. That was the problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I can
so
relate to that.
but this also taught me a big lesson that I do with a lot of my clients, myself too. So I love entrepreneurship, right? So I always been in businesses, open different businesses, and I've been learning that persistence, you gotta be persistent to do and to reach what you really want to do and achieve in your life. And so when I got involved in coaching, basically it was my wife. I was doing classes in a university about entrepreneurship. So normally I will teach younger generation people. I'll teach them how to start a business, run a business, how to make money with a business. And then I was just in the US now, later on in the US with my own company. And she said, "Oh, I got this coaching program from a friend of mine, and I enroll, but I cannot pay for it." So I said, "Okay, fine, I'll take it and I'll do it." And so I took it and I fell in love. Now, as you said, it's very easy to fall in love with personal development,
Exactly.
right?
Mhm.
Because one thing that I've seen is that when you teach someone, the first person who hear it is you. So if you grow a lot, you grow a lot when you teach it. And I think so. I shared this with you. Mostly when you go to school, you learn, right? So you read,
Mhm.
you listen, and you write. You read, listen, and write. And we do that at school. And so we gather a lot of information, but that information doesn't stay always there. And we could say that, but the information that does stay is the information that you teach and pass on to other people. Then when I went to college and then I later on an MBA, it was the same thing: reading, writing, and listening, right? And so same thing, but doesn't nothing just stay unless I was teaching something to some people. So one of the things that I encourage people is when you learn something, don't keep it, share it.
Yeah.
And I think so. This is where
I think
we
that's what we are doing here. That's what we are doing.
exactly.
We are just sharing the whole purpose of this doing Facebook Live, connecting with like-minded people, is to share what we have. There are
Yes,
so many people is there, and who really want to grow, right? Who really want to grow into their life. Maybe they want to increase their income. Maybe they want to increase their relationship. Maybe they want to be more healthy.
yes.
And I believe this information can help them. Can help them. So that's what we are doing here.
Well, we're talking about science and psychology here. We're
Mhm.
talking about how your mind works and how can you how sometimes I always talk to people that you could be your worst enemy or your best friend. And your worst
Yep.
enemy is that one that is trying to keep you or hold you back, which is yourself, which is all related with fear. All the fears that you
Mm-hmm.
have will always limit you to do the thing that you really want to do, but because of fear, you don't do it. And so when you are able to know yourself, a personal development at the end of the day is knowing yourself. It's all about knowing yourself. And once you know yourself, you know what motivates you, what make you fear. And once you know what motivates you and make you fear, then you can see that other people work the same way, and you can also help them to overcome that situation.
Yep, great. Yeah, that's true, And in the yeah, it's true. Fear actually holds us back. Fear actually holds us back, but I believe the way you can overcome fear is by developing understanding,
Yeah.
by understanding what is actually causing the fear. I remember 2.5 year ago, 3 year ago, I had so many fears. I had a fear of failure, I had a fear of rejections, I have a fear of so many fear that I can just keep counting and just keep going. How did I overcome all this fear? I acted on that idea. I developed that understanding, that what is causing the fear. It was my limiting belief. As Bob says, fear is a just a negative emotion in your subconscious mind. Okay,
Yeah.
and that's
It's
what
a
it is.
negative.
It's a
So
negative
Deepak,
emotion.
so what is
Mhm.
it? We both coaches, and so we can talk about this for a long time. So what is this the one thing that you like? What do you do for a hobby?
Hobby?
Yeah.
You mean regarding personal development or regarding anything into life?
No, regardless of anything. I don't know. Maybe you
Oh,
like
I love
to.
bike riding. I love bike
Nice,
riding,
nice.
you know. I love riding in Himalayas. The place I'm currently living in is very close to Himalayas.
Okay.
So if somebody is there from just someone say from Namaste is from India or someone is from Nepal, I live in
Yes.
if he's in Nepal, he know where Uttarakhand is. I'm from Uttarakhand actually. So Uttarakhand basically comes in Himalayas. Okay. So
Okay.
whenever I get a chance, I just took my cruising bike and I just went to Himalaya and just have some fun for 3 5 days. So that's what I really like. Other than that, I like reading these books. Okay? Think and Grow Rich, U Square, and this book and that book,
Oh
Power of
wow. Yes.
Awareness. Also,
So
it's all. That's what I like.
so what I learn in what I do is I study with my students every day. So we do coaching every
Mm-hmm.
day, and we read the U Square book every day. Every day we
Mm-hmm.
read not the whole book, but we read one chapter per day.
Mm-hmm.
So we're
Mm-hmm.
going that, and I like the Think and Grow Rich. I think so. Most people, and I like something you did. You keep on reading the book constantly
Yep.
and
Yeah.
repeatedly. So you were really auto suggesting to yourself were the way you wanted to be. You wanted to change
Mm-hmm.
a certain way. We so many times people auto suggest themselves what they don't want. So I am
Mm-hmm.
not good enough at this, or my relationship is not going to prove, or my money is not going to prove, and we are so negative, but we repeated that negativity to us constantly, and so we start believing in it, and then we start
Yeah.
acting up on it. And so
Mm-hmm.
you were you did so good about reading this and keeping yourself completely away from any negativity and really focus on it, only the person you wanted to become.
Exactly. I remember when I used to read that book. I just started to read that book whenever I used to travel because at the time I used to travel a lot. And at that time I used to travel in buses and public transport. So I used to put my earphone on, and I used to listen the audios of the book or the audios of the All Nightingale Lead the Field. That's what I used to do. And when I talk to someone about it, they think it's crazy. You're crazy. What is that you're doing? That's not going to do any good. You're just about to graduate. You should look for a job. And the good part is when I graduated from the job, when I graduated from the college, I never needed a job. I was already making, uh, I don't know, like 70, 80,000 a month. So in my currency, actually. So it was
Yeah,
never needed. So I never needed a job. That's what happened when you are changing in your mind. That's what you're happened. What I was doing at the time, I was actually changing my mind. Okay. And I didn't know at the time, but I loved this information. I started listening to this all nightingale and lead the field, the strangest secret. If you remember the strangest secret.
yeah,
Amazing information. So
yeah.
that's what's happening.
For example, I share with you that I have some client from Pakistan,
Mhm.
Philippines, Latvia, and they're interested in India too. So the interested thing, I always ask them, where are your client base? And they said locally. And I said, why? You speak English so much better than me. Why are you not selling your
Mhm.
program, or helping people know their places? And people have this tendency to be very local. And this is something that
Mhm.
I enjoy having a conversation with you, and creating this program,
Mhm.
because show people that no matter where you are, you can
Exactly.
help anybody, right? So I help
Anybody,
people in.
anywhere.
Exactly. You say it. You help people in Canada, in the UK, in the
Yeah.
United States, and you are in India. I help
I'm
people.
in
I mean,
India.
in the United States, I help people in Pakistan, in Philippines, South Africa, in Latvia, in well, I do help people in the United States too,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
people in
it is.
Mexico.
Mhm.
So this is great. I like the book too. I read this book. I have it with me all the time. I always encourage my clients to read it. But something I did understand is this is like a manual, right? It's like when you're
Mhm.
going to do the oil change in your car,
Mhm.
or your motorcycle. I like motorcycles.
Mhm.
You're gonna go to the chapter that's related to oil changes, and you're gonna read it, and
Mhm.
you're gonna follow it, and so you can do it the right way. So recently I had a client of mine. He was from Latvia. He's about 18 years old, and he was lacking a little bit of persistence, right? Because I like persistence
Mhm.
too. So I don't want to put him on the spot. He probably knows that
I
I'm talking
remember
about
I
him.
used to lack persistence. I right now it's not the case. I used to
Yeah.
lack. Right now I'm a very persistent person. If I want to do something at any cost, I'm going to do it. Okay, you have to really, really shoot me to stop me. Okay, so I'm a really persistent person. So
Yes.
in cases in 2.5 year ago, that was not the case. I remember. I remember a story. How did I develop this persistent? One time I was in college. I was in college and I was having if you have that projects in college, computer science programming,
Hmm.
and it's an interesting story. I never believed that I could make that, but I did that, but it was a persistence of 3 months. Okay, 3 months. The project was when the project I have to submit a digital project, so I was thinking that what could I make in a project, final year project, uh, if you have watched I mean, so many have you watched the movie The Iron Man? Uh,
Yes.
yeah, in that movie, he has that assistant, the voice assistant Jarvis. At the time, I watched that movie, and I just like I was so impressed by that, and I want to make this, I want to make this, and I told my faculty, the college faculty, that sir, I want to do this. Okay, this is the thing I want to do. Do you think you can do that? I said, I'm gonna try it. Let's go and try. Oh my God, it was really, really tough. I don't know how to do that. It took me 3 months, 14 attempts, 14 fails attempt. In 15 attempts, it was working, and 16, 17 was just a what do we call is improvement, right? Improvising how to make it better. But in fiction, it took me 14 attempts, 3 months to actually learn how to make it, and then at the end, I did that. So that's the persistence. Before that, I used to try things and I used to leave it. If something is not working, I used to leave it. Okay, so that's the persistent was. So if
Yes.
somebody is there who wants to develop persistence, okay, what I would suggest is get this book. Okay, get this book and read the chat. Go to chapter on persistence. Okay, read it every single day for next 30 days, maybe next 60 days, maybe next 90 days. Okay, read it over and over and over. Napoleon Hill put it very well. He said persistence is a direct result of your habit. Okay, and that's what it is. You have to develop a habit of persistence, waking up every single day doing the same thing, waking up every single day. But the persistence only come when you have a solid reason behind it. If you don't have a solid reason behind it, persistence will never come. Okay, it's like having a strong purpose. We have a strong purpose behind doing this. Okay, I had a strong purpose behind reading this book because I wanted to know the secret. Okay. Until and unless there is a reason behind what you're doing, there is no persistence will not come. So that's
For
what I would
example,
suggest.
I agree with you, and this is something I taught to this guy, this kid from Latvia. Read the chapter of persistence every day for 30 days, Monday through Sunday.
Mhm.
Never stop,
Mhm.
every day, once a day. And I did it myself. I was lack of persistence once, and I started reading it, and it definitely changes. Now, as you said, it's a habit. This is the thing.
Yeah.
A habit is simply a feeling. It's a belief that I have inside of me that is holding me back or is allowing me to follow. And I have a real strong purpose behind it, right? So when we repeat certain things, we create that habit that will help us. The beauty of this in the chapter of persistence, there's going to be a part that is talking about a nightmare. I don't know if you remember that part. And so Napoleon Hill said that you are in a nightmare, right? And in a nightmare, you suddenly start moving one finger, then you're moving
Yeah.
your hands, then moving your
Yeah. Yeah. I
arm.
remember. I
And
remember.
so I read that several times, and a client of mine came to me today and said, I don't understand this. What does it mean? Your nightmare is your current comfort zone. And
Yeah.
the comfort zone is controlling you. And it's your
Mm-hmm.
subconscious mind that you, through fears that you have carried around your life, you create the habit of believing or thinking a certain way to keep you attached. So this nightmare is actually your current situation. You can't get out, but you also your fear of failing.
Mm-hmm.
I always tell
Mm-hmm.
people you gotta always seek failure.
Yeah.
Never be afraid of failure because I always said
Mm-hmm.
it's like a corner of the street. There's someone asking you where I can find success, or just go straight to failure and you'll meet
Mm-hmm.
success,
Exactly. That's what.
right?
So you know,
It's go
that's what it
straight to
is.
failure and you'll meet
Mm-hmm.
success. So success
Mm-hmm.
and failure are part of the same coin, and you have to go through one so you can achieve the other one. And we do frustrate and get a lot of anxiety because failure is associated with the feeling, not necessarily with it, with the feeling of dying. And so that
Mm-hmm.
anxiety that I'm going to die, I'm going to lose everything if I fail, limit you to actually work and do it. So this nightmare, the nightmare itself, is your subconscious mind telling you, stay here where you are, better be safe than sorry. And that's such a lie. And Bob Proctor talks about that too. Such a lie of saying be safe and sorry because it's kind of you getting accustomed or you acknowledging that it's better being bad than better because the bad is better than any risk of being worse. And there's not going to be worse, right?
Yeah, yeah, it is. Also, what it suggests is like the way Napoleon Hill wrote that. It says step by step. Take one step at a time. You have a problem with persistent. Take a smaller bite. Do that smaller bite, then take another smaller bite, then another smaller bite. You don't have to do all at the same time. Okay, when I'm coaching people, there are so many coaching people I'm coaching. I tell them the same thing. If you're having problem with persistent, take one a bite. Okay, things then take smaller bite, then smaller bite. That's the way you can do it, and take it through a small period of time. Okay, do it for a small period of time, then take another period of time. Eventually you will see, because by doing same thing over and over, what you're doing is you're changing programming. Okay, you are planting new idea, and when it is planted successfully, your body will automatically will start doing it. You don't even have to try to do it. Okay, it will be automatic, and that's where the persistence starts coming. Okay.
I am very so. I had someone tell me that I was very pragmatic once, and I think it's true. And I would say that if you live in an area where you have a mountain, right, a mountain or a
Mhm.
hill, right, and so you can practice this weekend. You can go
Mhm.
in a flat area before you go through the mountain and put as a goal to get to the mountain by the end of the day. And as you walk flat, eventually something has to change. So you have to set those, like you said, those little goals in between. And you have, okay, I'm going to reach this tree and I'm going to rest and drink some water. Then I'm going to reach this rock and then I'm going to rest again, drink some water. And then as you meeting each different objective, the goal is to get to the summit. But you have to
Mhm.
achieve those little goals first so you can get. If you say, I just want to go to the summit, I want you to try it out. I want you to go all the way to the summit without
Yeah.
drinking water and without resting. And you'll see
Mhm.
you will not get there, right?
Mhm.
Because you're going to get tired. It's going to be overwhelming. And so eventually you will have to stop, right? And
Mhm.
so what learn you is every day we live in so many experiences that we live in it every day, but we don't realize, we don't wake up that those experiences are the same that we need to implement for the thing we really want to achieve in our lives.
Mhm. Yeah, true, true. Absolutely.
Yeah. So yes, definitely reading the Think and Grow Rich book is amazing. I think so. It's a hard book to read. Sometimes
Yeah,
you
I
gotta go
think
through a
so.
lot of
I
stories.
think so. I think so. It's not easy, it's not easy, but it's worth it. It's worth reading that book. It's worth reading that book over and over because I know so many people who has read it once and they have forgotten it. I have
Yes.
so many people and they don't know what's written in the book. So I think if somebody is really really, if I suggest someone, if I because I suggest in a specific way, okay. I don't know. I don't want to go. I don't want you to go anywhere. Pick any book. Just pick this book. Take one chapter at a day. Just one chapter. Then second day, second chapter. Third day, third chapter. Repeat it for a year. Let's do it for a year. If you really want to transform yourself, because that's where the transformation is going to happen. One chapter. Complete that chapter. Okay. If you're today starting, just take maybe desire or thought or things. One chapter. Just one chapter. Okay. Read it, then second day second chapter, and do it until this year. Do it until after that year you gonna be a different person. I remember so many things started happening in me. As my friends used to call me, you're not the same person. You're not the same person. Okay. And I used to I didn't feel that the time. Right now, because the person I was a, if I have to take very open about it, I was a person. In group we have friends, and you have one friend who everyone is going to make fun of. I was that person. I was that person 3 years 4 years ago. You know right now, and they call me for advice. Okay. So mark my words, just do what I'm saying. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. Reading it every day, and I think so. It's such you can have a complete coaching, right? You
Yeah.
can have a complete coaching about this book, and it all depends on you. I want to share you something. I was just talking to a friend of mine the other day. So my native language is Spanish, right?
Hmm.
And uh, every time when I was at school, I failed one grade of school because I had a bad grade in English. and and later on, I went to England. I live in England for a year just to learn English. I went there without knowing any English. I came back with a little bit of English, and then I came back in 2001. I came back to the United States to get better in my English. And when I was here, it was struggling for me, but I was forcing myself, and I realized that languages you have to force yourself, consciously force yourself, because you have a naturally way to speak with people in Spanish, other people that don't speak English, right? And so when I graduate from that school, I didn't have a good relationship with the lady, that the teacher, and so she make a diploma. I said, "You have passed the class, but you are not the level of English for working." And I got so upset with that. I said, "No, I
Yeah.
mean, I knew there was maybe another reason." So I got the diploma and I broke it. In the same day, I went to ask for a job in a restaurant, and I do have to confess, I started working in the kitchens with all the Mexicans there. And also,
I
but
can understand.
they'll talk in English and all that. Then after a month, I went to work on the second floor, where it was all the people, because the kitchens is underground. It was in North Carolina. So I work in, it's true, when you are forced to learn the language, you're forced to do it, you learn it really fast, right? So you
Yeah.
really need it. So you need to find that desire, or that urgency, the sense of urgency to really wanted to do it. Now, finishing the story, I came back to Chile, went back to the United States. In Miami, as was working, in my English was good, but it wasn't as good as I wanted to be. And so I was in a store, but I forced myself. I make all the people, my friends, in English and not Spanish. Got a friend of mine who knew much more English than me, and he lost his English in Miami because he was only related with Spanish speaking. And so I
Hmm.
remember one time, so you understand what my persistence of want to
Hmm.
know English was. It. I came to
Hmm.
the store with a broken English, and I said, in Miami, everybody speaks Spanish. So I came and I said, "How much is that perfume?" And the lady looked at me and said, "I speak Spanish." And I look at him and said, "That's good for you. How much is that perfume?" You see? So, and so she talked to me in English, even that I
Mhm.
knew that I was speaking Spanish. And
Mhm.
sometimes also I will call customer service when you have a product, you're not happy with the product.
Mhm.
I will call customer service, and it said, if you want to talk in Spanish, you need to press number two. And I was pressing number one a lot,
Mhm.
and so I have to explain with my broken English to someone which I have a problem about the product. So personal development is the same thing, and that's what I wanted to say. Personal development is a habit. Being positive is a habit. Knowing
Exactly.
English is a habit. Knowing
Yeah.
Spanish is a habit. So you have to consciously force yourself to speak it. So in other ways, you're
Yeah.
not going to learn personal development. You're going to implement positiveness in your life if you don't follow four way of learning, which is you have to the basic three, which is reading, listening, and writing. But the fourth that important is talk. You know, in a language, the most difficult part is to talk because you're expressing your feelings, you're communicating.
Mhm.
So when you
Mhm.
learn something, pass it on to other people because the one who's going to benefit the most is you. You're
Yeah.
going to benefit them too, but you are going to be the one that benefit them most. So if you learn something new today, pass it on to the people. Try to ask
Exactly.
them what's going on with you. How can I help you? Why don't you more persistent and
To
apply
learn
life?
English, right? To learn English, one thing you can do is like go to someone, add someone as an accountability partner who is very fluent with English. It doesn't matter if you are not fluent with it, add with him, okay, and talk to him, okay. Every time you are communicating, talk to him. It's the okay, it's the environment, okay. It's the environment. Put yourself in an environment where English speaking is common, okay. Put yourself in an environment. Maybe you can go to any community where everybody is communicating in English, again, not their native language. Because in India, English is not my number one language. I had to learn it. Okay, I had to speak it. I have to, thanks to some of the partner in Los Angeles, in Virginia, those also people have. I have partners in my e-commerce business, so I started communicating with them. And I had a good English, but not at that great that I am right now. I started communicating with them, and I started coaching. Even when I started coaching, I didn't have that great English, but I would not suggest anyone to let their English or any language stop them to do what they want to do. Language is something that you can learn at any time, okay, anytime, anyway, okay. It just you make a decision that I'm going to learn this thing, okay, and it just started shifting.
And for example, if you go to Europe, most people speak five languages.
Hmm.
And because you are forced to communicate with different people. So you gotta think that you want something, you're going to have to be persistent to it. You learn English, I learn English, but we learn English because we wanted to. And
Hmm.
even so that we didn't understand in the beginning, through repetition, we auto-suggest ourselves that we knew the language, we practice the language, and we force ourselves, which means you have to demand of yourself. You know you have the ability. You know you have the ability. Because you know you have the ability to learn the language, you have to demand of yourself persistent and continuous action towards getting that goal, which is the learning the language.
Yep, exactly. That's what you need to do, okay. That's what you need to do. Great.
All right, excellent. All right, so guys, thank you so much for joining us today. We are going to stop the program
Not
now.
right now. Not
No,
right now.
now.
We're going. Not
Ah,
right
okay.
now.
Let's
We
go. Let's
just
keep
did.
on
We
going.
have just started. We have just started.
I like
The
that
fire.
attitude. Let's go for it.
We have just started. Not right now.
All right, all
We're
right.
gonna discuss so many
Let's
things.
keep on going.
First
Let's
thing, I
keep
would
on
like
going.
to make some of the announcement here, because we are going
Yes.
to do live every week at the same time, and we're going to discuss. one topic regarding personal development. Today's topic was discussing one of the laws, the cause and effect.
You're right.
Was
Yes.
right. So we're gonna discuss about that as well. What is causing, what is the law of cause and effect, and how it has impacted my life. The understanding of this law. I believe if you want to really grow into your life, you need to understand the laws. Okay, if I just drop this pen, I just drop it. It's always gonna go down. It's never gonna go up. Why? Because the law. There is one law called the gravity is holding. Right? It's causing it to go down. Okay. In the same way, some of the laws that governs our health, our wealth, our prosperity, um, and once a person started understanding these laws and started working in the harmony of these laws, and their whole life is going to be improved. You know, so I have met so many people who are multimillionaires, okay, who have a great business, who live in a 10,000 square feet mansion, okay, and I found all this pattern in them is like just think they unconsciously or consciously are following this law,
Yeah.
okay, and one of them law is the law of cause and effect. Okay,
Yes.
so in that program, 7 weeks, 7 laws, we are going to discuss some of the laws. So, what is cause and effect? Some people call it sowing and reaping. Some people call it action reaction. Some people
Yes.
call it whatever you are calling. If I go to Indian history has so many books that they have wrote about it.
Yes.
So what is this law? What is how it's impacting your life? It simply says whatever you are putting in the form of energy, right? That's what the universe is going to send you back. Some people call it karma. Whatever relates to you, okay? It's up to you. I call it cause and effect. Okay, you can call it anything you want. Okay,
Yes.
what energy you are putting it right now, that's what you're going to get. Not right now, maybe you're not getting right now, but you will get certainly, okay, in your life. I have something interesting that I want to show you. Okay, I keep this thing, you see, it's called Newton credit. Okay, if I it's just a simple, if I put little bit in, I'm gonna get little bit out. If you're putting something, if you're putting something into something little bit, you are going to get little bit out. If you're putting this little extra, you're going to get little extra. Okay, so that's what every business, and every business, if you're really want to happy, if you really want to see that what is that I'm actually getting out of a business of my business. Some people here, they have network marketing business, some people they have their coaching business. If you're really looking for that, what is that I'm getting out, think, look back and think, what is that actually I'm putting,
Yes.
that's what you're getting.
All
Okay.
right. So yes, and I agree with you. I had a client once tell me why normally when we think something bad is going to happen, seems to come faster than we're thinking something good. And so I explained to him, maybe you can explain it in your point of view, but I said it's all have to do with the passion that you have, right?
Mm-hmm.
So remember that I always put this example. So let's say I like Coca-Cola, but I
Mm-hmm.
don't like water, right? And I said to
Mm-hmm.
someone, hey, I'm thirsty, bring me something. And I'll explain this way. So if the person doesn't know what I like, he will
Mm-hmm.
have to figure out what to bring me, right? And so I will say, just give me a soda. Let's say it's a Coca-Cola and a Pepsi, right? And I like Coca-Cola. It doesn't really matter what I like or
Mm-hmm.
doesn't like. If I said in myself, I like I like Coca-Cola, but I really, really, really don't like Pepsi. Where's my
Mm-hmm.
passion? My passion
Exactly,
is
to
what I
Pepsi.
don't like.
Exactly. It's
It's
not, you cannot call it
intensity,
passion. It's not call
intensity.
it passion. Passion is different. Passion is something you're really passionate about. You're really feeling that. You're putting your focus onto Pepsi. Okay? That's what it is. That's what it is. You're putting your focus onto what you don't want. And
Yes,
that is the terrible mistake you are making. Okay.
absolutely.
And
And the chances is the
I used to
person will
make that
bring me the
mistake.
Pepsi instead of the
Yeah,
Coca-Cola because
exactly.
I'm putting
Exactly.
so much energy into it. So what
Yeah,
you need to
exactly.
do is detach from the negative feeling
Yeah.
and really visualize what is what you want. So
Mhm.
what we said is the universe or your subconscious mind doesn't know what you want or what you don't want. So, your subconscious mind will vibrate. It's like a
Mhm.
magnet, right? So if you get involved in fear, you get involved in what you don't want, you're going to attract that into yourself. If you get
Mm-hmm.
involved in what you want, you're going to attract that into yourself. So it all depends on you choosing what is kind of vibration you want to have your body into it. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I always explain to people, don't feel bad because we have a naturally tendency to be
Mm-hmm.
negative because we
Mm-hmm.
grow up in environment negative. Imagine, you grow up and your parents said the word that most people say when they're kids is no. No, you can't do this, you can't do that, that's the other word, can't and no, can't and no. So at the end you grow in a very negative environment. But I mean, it makes sense. Your parents doesn't want you to get sick, your parents doesn't want you to fall, so it's always supporting this negativity into you to protect you. So we have a natural tendency to be protected by a negative energy or negative feeling in ourselves, which is our subconscious mind controlling us. So we really need to fight free from this negativity and push ourselves completely out of this negativity into positivity. But we have to do it consciously because subconsciously we're holding that. We implant it two ways because or someone repeated to us several times or someone introduced it to us through an emotional impact. So if I went there and I make a fire inside of the house, my parents show up there, probably in my case or someone case, will your dad will get you a snap you, right? And this is an emotional impact that there's a lot of pain associated with doing that. It's an emotional
Mm-hmm.
impact. So you're not going to do it again because not of not doing the fight, it's because of the pain caused by that. Unless someone repeatedly said, no, you cannot do that, you cannot do that, you cannot do that. You repeat, repeat, repeat. So we have a mix in our heart, which is our subconscious mind, or the Greek call it heart. We got a mix in our heart of repetitive no's and emotional no's. And this is what is driving us. So it's that naturally that we are negative, but we also can consciously force ourselves out to focus on what we really want and detach from that passion of what we don't want. Like I said to her one time, a lady came to me and said, I am so happy I get out of a toxic relationship. And I look at her and in my mind I'm saying, most probably your next relationship is gonna be toxic too because you have created a habit of always driving your relationship to a toxic. You in kind of way you're attracting it into your life. So you really need to change that word and say, I I'm ready to open a new relationship. I'm ready to open to get a great person in my life and not talking about negative. So you're charging positive and you're attracting that positive into you.
Yeah, yeah, that's what it is, you know. And also, when you are changing from a negative to a positive person, it's gonna cause you pain. Okay, it's gonna cause you pain. It's gonna cause you discomfort because what you're doing is you're changing that programming, and it's not that easy. Okay, it's tough. It's tough, you know, to change that programming. What I would say is just take one step at a time. Okay, take one step at a time and pick one positive idea. And the best thing you can do is the best thing that will go that has, oh, excuse me, the best thing that has worked for me is gratitude. Okay, being from a negative person to a positive person, focus on gratitude. What are you grateful for? Okay, I have something that I really want to show you. Okay, I have this stone. Yes, you can see the transparent stone. I remember I had this 2 years ago, and from 2 years it is with me. Okay, and I bought that in secret. Okay, at the time, and I got that, and I every time I touch it, it's always on my table, and whenever I used to travel, I used to put it in my pocket, and I used to think three things I'm grateful for. Okay, three things I'm grateful for, sometimes just once, but I used to think, what are the things I'm grateful for? Okay, the second habit you want to develop, if you don't have, if you don't want to do this simple, second habit you can do is just put it, what are the every morning just put a habit of waking up and just writing out what are the things you are grateful for today, 10 things. Okay, just take it and write it. It's incredible. It's a proven way to be change your negativity from positivity, because gratitude is power. When we'll go through the sessions, we'll discuss more about how gratitude works, how gratitude is, because
Yeah.
gratitude is a game changer. It has been a game changer for me, and it can be a game changer for you. Okay, but you need to learn how to use it. Okay, and that's what we're gonna learn. Okay, so stay tuned here. Okay, stay tuned here, and we're gonna bring up so many valuable information that that can help you. Okay, that can help you. Really,
Yes.
really help you. Okay.
One of the things I wanted to say is get a little like a handbook like this, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So I get these handbooks. You can buy them in different store. You can buy any one that you
Mm-hmm.
want, and write down everything that you're learning on these classes. Write it down,
Mm-hmm.
read it, read it, take notes of all the advices that we're giving you, because our true intention is you to improve your life. So at the end of the
Yeah.
day, I mean that's what a coach is all designed to do. Is really
Mm-hmm.
helping you to improve your life, because at the end is the best way to put out the best that we have in our life, to put it out so other people can have that too. Now, I have a little joke that I told to a friend of mine the other day. He said to me that he wanted to quit smoking, right? And it was really hard for him to quit smoking. So I told him, and this comes from a joke, right? I'll tell the joke maybe later. And so, but it came from the joke. So I said to him, write in a piece of paper. You're gonna write in a piece of paper. It said, "Not today. Tomorrow I will smoke." And to carry
Mm-hmm.
this paper in his pocket all the time. So every time he felt like he wanted to smoke, he will pull the paper out. I said, "Not today, tomorrow I will smoke," and put it in. And so little by little, the next day, which was the tomorrow, next day, "Not today, tomorrow." So you taking the stress, the anxiety of the moment. He said, "Not today, tomorrow." It builds up your patience, it builds up your self-control, and you can add what Deepak was saying. Put some gratitude. You said today. You can say today. Be today grateful. Tomorrow you can smoke, right? And so today, be grateful. What I can be
Absolutely.
grateful for, right? I could be grateful
Mm-hmm.
about being alive, or has a beautiful day, or someone was kind to me today. Being grateful for things that happen to you around you, and smoke tomorrow. And then the next day you do the same thing. And little by little, you're gonna be detaching from this um, anxiety or this addiction that you got. The addiction really is an emotion. It's really a feeling, an emotion that is attached to the smoking. Maybe something happened to you. Maybe you find that it was cool to smoke, or maybe your dad used to smoke, or maybe your grandpa, you admire someone and you want to be like that subconsciously. And you're so attached emotional to that, but you can detach it by making something else more important, right?
Exactly. Understand this. Understand this. Gustavo is absolutely right. Okay. Understand this. The reason you are smoking because it's an idea in your mind. Okay, and that was causing you. I love what Bob says. He says addiction. Addiction is wanting something don't you don't want. Okay, so that's what it is. You desire something. You want something that you don't want. Okay, so it's like that. Okay, what you need to do is you need to change that idea in your subconscious mind. Okay, how you do that? Affirmation, repetition. Okay, take opposite, just like gratitude. You just like gratitude, you focus, so you start focus your mind on gratitude. When a mind is focused on gratitude, okay, it's not gonna think what's left, what's right. It's on gratitude. It's thinking about what is that you are actually gratitude about, what is that you're actually grateful about. Okay, when you're gonna do that, all the things negative from this side or that side is gonna turn around. They're gonna go sideways. Okay, you're gonna not gonna focus on that. Okay, your energy is line up on the gratitude, and when you do that, not only this thing, everything into your life gonna shift.
Yeah.
Everything. Okay.
Yes. So are we? So the cause and effect is put your best energy in what you want, so you can
Exactly.
get
That's what
what
it
you
is.
want.
Put your best energy on what you want. Okay. Look for what you want. Okay. Gustavo, tell me, how does this law has impacted your life?
Actually, it's impacting a lot, and I will say that I'm a sinner. I
Mhm.
I carry a lot of bad things in my life, and I can tell by truth that your subconscious mind, when you are done things in the past that you regret, they're always chasing you. But it's all in your mind, and you just have to shift. So focus on what you want, and what I said is detach from the feeling. For example, some of you, if you ever had a depression in your life, you take medication for depression. Basically, the medication is what it's doing is taking your feelings out of the formula. So you're feeling like a robot because you're constantly conscious, right? And so, but is the medication is designed because you've been taken over by these emotions, and the emotions are the one that taking you to commit suicide or hurt yourself and all the things. So the medication is trying to help you to detach yourself for this negative emotion till you're able consciously to control your emotions, and then you can re-enter habit of controlling those negative emotions, right? So depression, in other words, is anger against yourself. It's simply you cannot express it out, so you express it inside. So what I did is try to focus on the positive, try to surround myself with positive people, try to watch funny movies, try to
Mhm.
smile more. I got a friend of mine was telling me that he went to a stress doctor, and the stress doctor was saying that, and it makes sense. Your muscle memory is in your brain, right? Your muscle memory is your brain, but is reflected in your body, right? So if you always do this constantly, do this, and you have an accident, someone cut your hand, you're gonna still doing this, even you don't have the hand. It's not because your subconscious mind doesn't understand you don't have a hand. You consciously cannot see it, but your subconscious doesn't know. So when you're relaxed, you're gonna keep doing the same thing. So you have a memory in your subconscious mind how to react or act in certain ways. So what this person was doing is really trying to create that muscle memory in their brain so he could do things completely different. And that's what I started implementing myself. So what I start doing, I start detaching emotionally when I want something. You see, I'll give you an example. If you want water, you just need to say, let's say you're in a store and you said, I want this water. You will never get emotionally that you're not going to get the water because you had it in front of you, right? You can see it. So the person would just simply hang up your money and you can grab your water. So when you want something, detach from that fear. Just you can do it. It's not easy, but you can try different things. Kind of become a robot kind of way. You're going to completely detach the feeling and make the statement of what you want a firm confirmation of what you want.
That's what it is, that's what, yeah, yeah, exactly,
Yeah,
and also depression has to still come to the same point, gratitude is the very, very powerful. I would suggest if you are really, really, if you're in a state of gratitude, you'll never feel that depression. Okay, just
yeah,
try. Okay, I have suggested this with many people. Okay, and they have come up with a good results. Okay, just try when you're if you're feeling depressed, just try gratitude. Okay, just
yes,
point out three, four, five things, 10 things. What are you things you are grateful for? Because it initially it's tough, because I have done that. I was never a depressed person, by the way, but I have done that. Initially, it's tough to point out because your mind is constantly focused on negative, so it is going to be a tough task for you. But yeah, if you keep doing it, if you keep doing the results, so you'll be just like, cause and effect. The causes
yes,
you are putting, the effect you are going to get. Okay, so that's what it is.
yes.
That's what
So
it is.
if your subconscious causing the fear, then you're gonna get the fear and you're gonna get the bad.
Mhm.
It's just
Mhm.
detaching from it and try to force yourself to positive. And then you're right.
Mhm.
When you're grateful, your mind completely changes. So in the in this doctor that was talking about the stress release, is try to smile. Even when you are sad, try to smile because your subconscious mind understands when you're smiling, you're happy. This is the beauty about happiness and sadness. Happiness bring energy. You see,
Mhm.
uh, problem in India. How late it is in India right now, Deepak?
How, what do you mean?
Late. It's late at night, or what time is it
Oh,
now?
it's around 10:38 p.m. It's night.
10:38 p.m., right? So when you are happy and when you're talking about something that really excites you, your body filled with energy.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
you
exactly.
can see this when you go to a party, right? You go to a party,
Mhm.
there's music, you're having fun, and this all this energy is flowing you, and you could go all night having fun and you don't realize how late it is. However, when you get involved with the negative, your body has a naturally way to shut you off. So in other words, when you get sad or too depressed or too complicated, your body starts getting tired. And
Mhm.
so you end up falling asleep. Look at the babies. When they cry, they fall asleep. But when they're
Mhm.
smiling, they can be up all day long, right? So
Mhm.
try to understand that part in yourself. When you're happy, you're gonna feel with a lot of energy. So you need to know yourself and know that happiness, so you can push yourself that energy forward and not allowing yourself. If you see yourself all day getting tired, it's because you're getting involved in something negative. Your body's trying to shut down. But if you focus on something positive and you're filling yourself with energy, right? You're
Mhm.
going to help yourself to be all the things that you need to do the right way.
Yeah. I think this is a very interesting topic to discuss. Probably, if I started discussing, and I'm sure you also, it would probably take the whole night, But we don't have that much of time,
No, we don't. We
But
don't
yeah,
know. Yes, it's
right,
true.
right. What I would suggest is like if anyone who is interested in discussing this topic, they can directly come to me or come to Gustavo, or directly if you're really interested in coming up and showing up yourself, yeah, just let me know on my page or my Facebook or Instagram, wherever. We'll invite you. We'll invite you here, and we'll love to talk to you
Yes,
about such topic. You can share if you have anything that you want to share, either from wherever you are from. You're from India, USA, Canada, wherever you are. We'll just love to have you, and we'll just love to hang around with you. And I'm sure you'll love it too, because we are very optimistic people. we
yes, yes,
we love optimistic people, we love helping people, and yeah, we're gonna have so much of fun. Either you're watching in my community or either you're watching him community. So we are pretty much good for today, okay, because we are going so much over time, okay. And
yes,
next week we'll come up again, with the same time we'll
yes.
come up again. And
Yeah,
anyone
at
who's watching.
11, yeah, so 11 a.m. Eastern
Mhm.
Standard Time. And what time is 11 a.m. in India?
It's 9:30 p.m. my time.
Okay,
9:30 p.m. India
9:30,
IST time.
right, 9:30 p.m. in India, 11
Mm.
a.m. in the Eastern time here in New York or
If you
Miami
have
area.
time conversion, problem, just let me know. Okay, just let me
Yes,
know. Just message me. Let me know. I'll convert the time in your time zone, and we can just connect, and we can just let it keep it moving. And it will be great to see you on YouTube. People from YouTube, from everywhere. We'll just go
yes,
live. So that's all.
yes. And if you have a problem, we welcome problems because we find always a solution for every problem. We always
Exactly. That's
figure
what
it
it
out.
is. That's
Yes,
exactly. So with this, we'll just wrap up this session today. It was really amazing talking to you, Gustavo, and so many people. It was really love talking to you. We'll keep connecting, okay? And if you
all
really
right.
love talking to us, just join us. Just join us. Make a decision and join us. Okay.
Excellent. All right, guys. Thank you so much for everything, and we'll see you next week. Bye bye.
Next week. Bye bye. Take care. Have a send lots of love. Bye bye.
Bye.